Holding the early upper hand in the championship, the Edmonton Oil Kings look to go 2 for 2 at Rexall Place. With a tight victory in Game 1, home ice perfection remains the story in Edmonton. Tonight, the Oil Kings look to move one step closer in a march towards the Edge&Out Cup. After last year's final, the Portland Winterhawks know this series is far from over after a Game 1 loss. But they also know it'll be a big hole to climb out of if they fall 2 games down in the series. The stakes are high in Game 2 from Edmonton. Next on Shaw. Well, a big performance from last night's second star, Rhett Raczynski, with a goal and an assist in the victory for Edmonton in Game 1. 4 goals so far in the playoffs for Rhett. And Martin Gernat leads all defensemen in goals so far in the playoffs. He got his 6th last night, and he has 3 over the last 2 games for Edmonton. Matt Carruth ready to go after a 26-save performance last night, but he suffered his first loss along with the Winterhawks in 6 games. So he's poised to get them back on the winning side. And Marcel Noble scored again last night. He scored in 3 straight games and has a goal in 6 of the past 8. His fans filed into Rexall Place expecting over 9,000 tonight for Game 2 of the WHL Championship. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the WHL on Shaw. I'm Andy Deal. Well, if Game 1 was any indication last night, we should be in for a long series between the Portland Winterhawks and the Edmonton Oil Kings. The Oil Kings drawing first blood with that hard-fought 3-2 win last night, almost blowing a 3-0 lead in the second period, but they held on for the win, and they're still perfect here at Rexall Place, the only undefeated team so far in the playoffs on home ice. They're 8-0 so far here at Rexall. But the big story coming out of Game 1 and leading into Game 2 was the hit thrown by Mitch Moroz of the Oil Kings in the third period on Portland's Ty Rattie, and Rattie may have aggravated a neck injury he sustained in the second round of that tough 7-game series against the Kamloops Blazers. He had to be helped off the ice last night. He's the leading scorer in the WHL playoffs. We found out that it's not a concussion, but he is not in for Game 2 tonight for the Winterhawks. So that's a big loss and a big story to keep watching, but we do expect him, we were told, to be back before the series is over. When? We don't know. But to set the scene even more, let's go upstairs to Dan Russell and Bill Wilms. Gentlemen.
Thank you, Andy. 30 points for Rattie in these playoffs. It's pretty foreign territory for Portland, though, to play without him 3 times in the regular season, once on opening day, then in December, and once in February. So it's a different mindset for them. And how does it change their attack?
Well, you know, Ty Rattie is a winger. Sven Berchi is a winger. Both of these guys, Rattie especially, he has a center's vision playing the wing, which means that they have a tremendous amount of creativity, distributes the puck very, very well, and he's got the speed to drive defensemen back. Dan, it's not unusual for Rattie and Berchi Nobles to have 2 or 3 great scoring, passing opportunities in the offensive zone that lead to scoring chances. They're going to miss that.
As we look back to last night, the Portland Winterhawks, they're used to getting a lot of shots on goal, 50 on average the last 3 games of the Western Conference Final, but only half that last night.
Yeah, I mean, they play in an Edmonton team that's very, very stingy. But you know, the Oil Kings got such a great start last night when they opened the scoring, 1:25 into the period, right into the game. That was Raczynski taking that face-off and then tipping that puck at the net. How about Mitch Moroz driving around the defenseman, Martin Gernat there to jam it home? That made it 2-0. And then Jordan Peddle, a shorthanded goal there. That made it 3-0. But on that same power play, what a play by Leipzig to get to that spot. And Noble's doing what he does best, jamming pucks in around the crease area. And then less than 2 minutes later, Sven Berchi, there he is in front of the net. Interesting enough, Dan, all that Portland flow that they like to get, they get 2 greasy goals last night.
Now, Mike Johnson thought they were a little bit better as the night moved along. This is the first time they've trailed in a series. How do you think they did play?
I didn't think they played great. I got to be honest with you. I know they started slow and they didn't have a great finish in the third period. They want to flow. They want to get moving. They want to capitalize on the transition game. You know, they didn't come up the ice as a unit very often. All their chances were in close. And I'll tell you, folks, they will test your defensive coverage really good around the net area. But, you know, they get driven to the outside easy. That's a lot of work to get to the front of the net. They want a freewheeling game. They want to come up the ice. They want chances off the rush. They weren't getting many of those. And again, like I said, the 2 goals they scored were kind of un-Portland-like goals in that they were around the paint area.
On Shaw this year, we've already had 3 series, and the home team won the first 2 in all 3 cases. In fact, you have to go to the last year's final between Portland and Kootenay. The last time on Shaw, we had a 1-1 series. We'll see how that plays out tonight, Andy, as we send it back to you.
Well, Dan and Bill, over the last, since the playoffs in 1997 in the finals, the road team has lost 10 game 1s in those finals since 97. 9 of those have lost the series overall. Just 1 came back to win the series. That was last year when the Kootenay Ice did it against the Portland Winterhawks. So recent history in the favor of the Winterhawks. You know they remember that. Greetings to those of you watching on Root Sports and Comcast Sportsnet tonight. South of the border, game 2 next of the WHL final. Enjoy.
The WHL, leading supplier to Canada's World Junior team for over 30 years. Each year, WHL players form the nucleus of Canada's national teams. The WHL, producing the world's best talent.
West End Auto Body is a proud sponsor of the Good News Story on Shaw TV. West End Auto Body, located on Airport Road, a member of the Quality Assured Collision Network. WestEndAutoBodyLTD.com.
Searles Auto Repair. Searles Auto Repair, 517 Kelvin Road, Victoria.
AM Ford and Trail with 2 locations to serve you at 2795 Highway Drive and AM Ford Plus at 8000 Highway 3B. Or visit them online at amford.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, our opposition for tonight, the Portland Winterhawks.
Welcome back to Edmonton. Dan Russell alongside Bill Wilms, getting ready for Game 2 of the Championship Series for the Ed Chanel Cup. The Portland Winterhawks without Ty Ratty tonight, and the Edmonton Oil Kings trying to hold serve. The crowd, as Andy said, should be at least 9. We're hearing maybe upwards of 10,000 here as well. So we'll see how that plays out as the night moves along. There's Mike Johnson, his Portland Winterhawks trailing for the first time in a series. And we've got the Star Spangled Banner in Old Canada from anthem singer Mark Williamson.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons' command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
So there's your national anthems here in Edmonton. The Oil Kings, they had that one hiccup against Moose Jaw, but do you know they've won 24 of their last 25 hockey games, 24-1. Edmonton since February 22nd. That's the last time they lost at home. It's 13 straight home victories. Let's go down to Peter Labardi as he has William Wren of the Portland Winterhawks.
William, a new position for your team, trailing for the first time in a series. What do you have to do better as a group to even it at one apiece?
Just keep it simple right now. It's a pretty good building out here, great fans. Just make sure we stick to the game that got us here. Hard work and playing for each other.
Very disappointing to not have the top point getter in the playoffs, Ty Ratty. How do you compensate for not having him in your lineup?
Yeah, you know, he's a great player, phenomenal, but a player doesn't make a team, so we're going to miss him, but I think we're going to be fine and we're ready to go.
Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
20-year-old William Wren from Anchorage, Alaska. As we look at your starting goalies now for Jack Lynx, there's Mac Caruth, who has 12-4 record in these playoffs and a 2.81 goals against average. Up the ice, Laurent Brossoit, just another night at the playoff office for him last night. 13-1 in these playoffs and a 1.61 goals against average. Your referees tonight, Matt Kirk and Nathan Wheeler with the orange armbands. Working the game on the line will be Justin Hall and Jeff Jobson. So it's game number 2 of the best of 7 between the new modern-day Oil Kings and the once-upon-a-time Oil Kings, and that takes just 5 seconds for our first play stoppage.
You know, last night for me, it was the highlight of the whole game was remarkably composed how Edmonton was after, you know, Portland got to within 2 on that 3-0 lead. They shut them down in the third period. Why, Dan? They take up such good defensive position. They trust their instincts. They're never chasing. Tremendously high hockey IQ on defense.
Curtis Lazar going in. He's bumped, but he maintains possession. Lazar trying to dump it to the corner. He has 8 goals, 8 assists in these playoffs. Samuelson in front of the net for Legault. Legault gets right around Pouliot, throws it in front. That puck put high as Lazar came in for that shot, and now Sautner chasing it back inside his own blue line. Just ahead of Reinhart, so he can't come up with the puck. Allows the Winterhawks to do just that. Taylor Lear in over the line. Chance on the wing, and the centering pass there by Gabriel doesn't click. Legault now for Samuelson. He'll probably, I thought he was going to shoot it in because his line mates are going off change, and now
During the regular season.
He may be young, but he's got experience. He was in the final last year with Portland as a 15-year-old. Didn't get a lot of ice time, but he was around the group. Here's a chance now for Portland to set up in the Edmonton zone. Nobles fights off a check, gets it back to Hansen, who'll play it behind the net. Berchi trying to get it there. TJ Foster on the far side. Does well to get that puck out. Put back in by Portland. Now they'll regroup in the neutral zone. Sven Berchi in over the line with Nobles. Berchi will chase it down in the corner. Quick centering pass intercepted by Foster on the back check. He got it to Jordan Peddle, who had a big shorthanded goal last night. Second shorthanded goal for the Oil Kings in these playoffs. Wyshynski's shot. That hit Hansen. Centering pass towards Sautner, but he couldn't hold it in. And as he goes back, Portland making pretty much a full-scale change. 4 of the 5 skaters going off to the bench. 5:45 gone here in the period, and there's a turnover. Leipzig, who has the goal, gives the puck back to Morrow. Morrow takes a high shot over top the net. Ross collecting it there in the corner. As he gets it towards the front of the net, he follows it up. Reed from back of the goal now, trying to find somebody in front. Being checked there by Pesic, but Reed does well to get it to Leipzig. Leipzig, now it's Portland's turn for some zone time. Morrow, cross ice. Wren throws it behind the net. Ross waiting for it there. Banks it off the boards to Morrow, but he can't control it cleanly. Does keep it in, and he's allowed to get the puck back of the net. Pesic, it falls after Ross fell. Tit for tat there. Comes back to Wren, over to Morrow. One-timer, and it goes wide of the net. Wren checked by Wilson, and in transition, here come the Oil Kings. Wilson trying to go around Morrow. Owanek backhands it to the corner, and Morrow's got it once more. Gets it to Wren. Wren back to Morrow. He's got lots of room to move it right now, and a long pass up to Gabriel. Gabriel picks it up over on that far wing, and his shot is deflected out of play by Cody Corp.
I think one of the real keys for the Portland Winterhawks and Mike Johnson's team is that he's got to take this Edmonton Oil King team out of their defensive comfort zone. And it starts on the own side of their center ice area. How? You win races for loose pucks. You win those puck battles. You force turnovers. They've already done that. That was the last shift here. That was one of their best so far in 2 games.
Peters has the puck for Portland. He puts it up high behind the net. Corbett plays it around the boards on the far side. Wotherspoon holding the puck in for Portland. Puts it right back behind the net. Gabriel chasing it down on this near side. Makes a nice little move, but then they have the puck roll off his stick. Wotherspoon puts it back to the net once more. Peters collects it there. Banks it off the boards to Wotherspoon. Or Rutkowski, I should say, and his shot goes wide of the net, and St. Croix gets there. Nice outlet pass to Maxwell. Even a nicer pass to Pelch as he tries to get around the defense. Pelch right in! And Caruth grabs it as it hit the side of the net first, and then Caruth puts his glove over top.
Yeah, just a quick recap. Portland with a 1-0 lead here, scoring 2:37 in period number 1. Rutkowski's going to start that play, get it to Ross. It's a 2-on-1. What a nice finish by Leipzig. Certainly goes forehand or backhand forehand and back puts that puck over top of the goaltender's pad. You know, earlier prior to that, we saw a terrific transition play by the Winterhawks be stopped in the neutral ice area. They were successful that time. They lead 1-0.
Brendan Leipzig had 28 goals during the regular season. That's his 5th of these playoffs. Pouliot for Portland. Now here's Patan. Nice pass. Here's a 2-on-1 down low. Noble's in front. Oh, what a save. What a great save by goaltender Brossois on Sven Berchi. Nearly 2-0 on that play. Here's Pouliot. Hard pass, but it's picked off, and a 2-on-1 the other way. Foster with Pebble. TJ Foster. Save, and the rebound over top is stick, and a third chance by Pebble through the goal mouth area. Well, that's the kind of series I think a lot of us were expecting in transition back and forth. A chance by Berchi at one end, and then a 2-on-1 for the Oil Kings at the other. Score remains 1-0. The Sharks are 7-3 for Edmonton. Noble will flip it in. He'll peel back, head to the bench on a line change as Griffin Reinhart comes out of his own zone. Soft pass up towards Samuelson. Picked off, and the Winterhawks are in. But not for long. Reed knocked off stride nicely. Curtis Lazar brings it quickly back the other way, and a quick shot on Caruth. Handled, smothered, and there'll be a face-off.
Yeah, this is exactly what we're talking about in terms of speed going up and down the ice. Patan with a great pass. That frees the Winterhawks to come out 2-on-1 again. Nice job of back-checking there by Rashinsky, taking his man right to the back wall. Look at the stretch. Look at the save going the other way. Here come the Oil Kings 2-on-1. Ren caught by himself. Shot. Nice save by the goaltender Caruth there. Oh, boy, up and down. Hold on to your hat, folks. If it's this way the rest of the game, we're in for a beauty.
Oil Kings on the offensive zone face-off, but they're unable to win it. Reinhart gloves it down momentarily in the neutral zone, but it's a glove hand pass, in fact. It blows play down. You know,
Matt Caruth has been absolutely sensational for parts of the playoffs. Game 7, 2-0 win over Kamloops at 32 out of 32. And then games 3 and 4 against Tri-City made 77 of 79. But it's interesting. In the 4 losses for the Winterhawks, in these playoffs, he's given up 21 goals. That's an .848 save percentage. So far tonight, he's been terrific.
Chicago Blackhawks drafted him in the 7th round. Saunders, now St. Croix, and now Reinhart. And now Maxwell, as they really pass it around nicely. Get the puck in deep. Reinhart going in deep. He collides there with Rutkowski. Reinhart, the defenseman, number 8 on the backboard, trying to make something happen. The puck goes down the ice. This should be icing on Portland with 10:44 to go in the first.
You know, back to Brossoit for just a minute. Talking about last night, I mentioned he didn't have a whole lot of chances so far in the playoffs to play with a game on the line, let alone the playoffs on the line. But what a period 3 save he made on Berchi with 15 seconds left. And you know, so far tonight, I'm sure there's a whole lot more Portland Winterhawks stuff to come.
And if you joined us late, Ty Ratty not in the lineup. Injured last night at around the 4-minute mark of the 3rd period. Puck shot in. Corbett's got the puck. Portland made a quick change after the icing because they couldn't before the icing call. This one goes down the ice. Joe Morrow. A couple Oil Kings on at him. Iwanek coming up with the loose puck. Trying to get it to Wilson, he couldn't. And Portland comes out, led by Reed. Reed flips it in. Brad Ross gives chase. Ross, here's a turnover. Reed got it. Quick shot goes wide of the net. Ross didn't initially force the turnover, but he sure rushed the pass for Edmonton, and that did cause a little bit of a chance for Portland as Reed goes back into his own zone. Past the halfway mark of the first period. Hansen back towards Reed. Morrow follows it up. No icing on this one. Goes all the way back and is controlled by Keegan Lowe, the son of legendary Kevin Lowe. Brings the puck through the neutral zone, and one move too many. It's offside at the Portland line. There's 9.5 minutes to go in the first period of game number 2. Portland Winterhawks have struck first tonight on a Leipzig goal. 1-0. You're watching Shaw.
Oil Kings head coach Derek Laxdal with us. Coach, you said after the morning skate there were a lot of areas you wanted your team to be better in despite the win in game 1. Where are you at about 10-22 into this one?
Oh, you know, we like the way we're playing right now. We got to bury some of our chances. Cruz has made some big saves. We had a bad pinch. We're down 1-0.
How key is it in this series for you guys to deal really well between the two blue lines?
It's very critical. They're a very high explosive offensive team. We got to make sure we have power by numbers.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Peter.
Winterhawks win the face. Go ahead, Bill.
Dan, I thought he did a great job, Laxdal, last night in preparing, both coaches, in preparing their team for, a game they've never seen either one of these teams since October. So, especially Laxdal to get the win. But so far tonight, Mike Johnson's team's responded beautifully.
Nobles with the puck. Although the Winterhawks only have 3 shots on goal, it seems a little deceiving right now. The game seems more even than 8-3 on the shots.
But they're playing with some rhythm, Dan. They got some rhythm in their attack. That's what's important. That was lacking last night.
Caruth missed it back to the net. Peddle trying to come up with the puck. A couple of whacks at it there. Sautner dumps it down low. Hansen's waiting for it. Josh Hansen plays it to Morrow. And he'll skate that puck out of his own zone. Morrow to Berchi. Going wide on Sautner. Quick shot. Harmlessly goes wide. Hansen waits for it at the blue line. Now here's Nobles trying to get it past Reinhart. Chance for Patan, and what a save with the left pad by Brossois. There's that gifted talent we were talking about with Patan. Just a matter of time till he scores in these playoffs. He's had about 3 good chances over the last couple of nights. Here's a lead pass for Berchi in over the line. Berchi all tied up there. Couldn't get the shot away. And there's going to be a penalty on that. That's why he was all tied up. There'll be a hooking penalty, and Portland will get the first power play of game 2.
Nick Patan was taking 1 pick after Kootenay took Sam Reinhart. He's got such offensive skill. Not the biggest guy. They still hope he will grow into some size, but he takes that puck right through the slot area. Right there. That's high traffic area, folks. Nick Patan with a shot. Big save by Brossois. And right after that, puck goes in deep into the Edmonton zone. The penalty, and it's a Portland power play.
Portland power play that did score last night, becoming only the second team to get a goal in Edmonton with the man advantage during these playoffs. Nice move by Rutkowski. Rutkowski gets it back again. Sautner, the penalized player for hooking. Here's a hard pass by Reed, but can't get by those Oil King sticks. And here comes Ryshinsky. Short-handed. Ryshinsky will take it to the corner, and he's taken out. And picking up the loose puck is Oliver Gabriel, who's from Edmonton. That's not why they're booing here. They're booing because they think there should have been a penalty on Portland by Rutkowski. But Gabriel throws it in front, a shot and a save by Brossois off Leipzig. So good in tight is Brossois. Makes another good save. Leipzig gets it back to Rutkowski. Rutkowski winds up, a shot partially fanned on, goes to Gabriel, and his shot is stopped by Brossois. Pesek gets the puck. Can't get it out. Leipzig again. Passes it. Reed. Rutkowski winds up. His shot blocked by the high man. Legault. Here's Leipzig behind the net. Tries to get it to Wotherspoon. Can't. Legault with some room gets it down the ice.
What a shift by Brendan Leipzig. Not the biggest guy, Dan, but boy, does he play with a lot of grit. Does he play with great intelligence. Made a chance, had a good scoring chance, and I thought made 2 terrific passes on this power play. Still got 41 seconds left in it.
And new forwards out there like Nobles and Ross and Berchi. That's Berchi with the puck right now as he weaves his way through the center ice area. Berchi trying to get it past Reinhart. He did. But 2 Oil Kings on. Finally, well, no, he doesn't get it back to Ross. He has to come out to the neutral zone with just 22 seconds left in the power play. Maybe time for one more setup. Morrow going in hard. Morrow right to the net and right through the goal mouth it goes. Ross also creating some traffic as Morrow tries once more to take it to the net. Here's a pass out here to Pouliot. Fakes the first one, shoots the second off the goal post. Pouliot hits the goal post. That close to another goal for Portland. Nice pass, another pass to Ross, and Brossois right there to make the save. Breakaway pass, Sumner can't beat Caruth. Oh, what action are we seeing here with the end of the Portland power play, and then a breakaway at the other end, and tremendous goaltending in Game 2.
Well, if you're not one of 11,000 people in this building, you got to be nuts. It doesn't get any better than this. What a pass from Pouliot, or shot for Pouliot rather, that's going to hit the post. This is what happens when Pouliot gets free from that spot. Watch it, he fakes the shot, waits for the sliding player to get out of the way, doink, right off the bottom of the post. Here it comes, there, and then what a nice chance by Ross in front of that. Even better, Brossois save and going the other way. Sautner with a breakaway. Watch this play by Ross in front. Sautner with a terrific save, and more action as the Winterhawks come up the ice.
But the game remains 1-0 with 6 minutes to go in the first period. This is icing on Portland.
Well, that's certainly what we expected tonight, or last night rather, in terms of movement up and down the ice. Both of these teams are able to do something. One thing we know, this is that Edmonton chance. Sautner all by himself. Boy, what a difference that would have made. It would have brought this crowd to its feet, believe me, after those 2 plays inside the Edmonton zone.
I have to believe that Ashton Sautner has not had a breakaway in a long time, if at all. 2 goals in the regular season, none in the playoffs. He's 17 years old. He's a defenseman. He's just out of the penalty box. Says, what? I got a breakaway in the championship series?
I wonder if time takes forever. By the time you get that puck, how many thoughts must go through your mind as a defenseman? What do I do? Holy, I'm on a breakaway. What do I do?
I never even had a shootout attempt, did I?
Kidding.
Long pass through the neutral zone. Here's Pelch cutting in. Pelch with Maxwell. Shot. Caruth makes the save. Pelch on the rebound, trying to collect the puck. He threw it in front. Leipzig intercepts. Gets it out to center. Ross giving chase there, but Pesic there first. Delayed offside, but the Oil Kings in possession. Granat up to Pesic. Nice pass over to St. Croix. He's taken off the puck, but Pelch gets it. Chance. Tipped over top the net by Wren, as Ross has something going with Lowe in the neutral zone, and I should say that those are the 2 penalty leaders in the regular season, so it won't be a strange sight to see Ross and Lowe come together.
Now, I know Coach Johnson wants his team to play with speed. He wants them to play with pace. He wants to play with tempo. Seldom got into that, I thought, rhythm last night. He was always running into an Oil King defender somewhere. Didn't score a goal off the rush last night. They've had 2 or 3 chances off the rush, maybe 4 already in this game.
Gabriel coming back in over the Edmonton line, trying to get that puck in front for Joey Baker, number 16 up there, along with Taylor Peters on the far side. Morrow is squeezed off the puck, and Edmonton's allowed to skate out with it. Iwanek trying to go around Gabriel. Still Iwanek going in. Throws the puck in front, and it goes towards Caruth. Fans thought maybe a penalty could be called there. The referee said play on.
Dan, sometimes turnovers happen in the neutral ice area. Sometimes they happen way back just inside your blue line. Travis Iwanek really does a nice job of weaving his way up the ice. By the way, he's an example of that Oil King depth in the playoffs. Get this, he's one of 10 forwards who have already scored at least 3 goals in these playoffs. Wow, he's been terrific. Great speed coming up the ice on that rush.
Brzezinski to take the face off for Edmonton against Nobles. Oil Kings come up with it. Peddle, quick shot. That's knocked down by Pouliot in front, but Peddle gets it right back again. Being checked by Nobles once more. Berchi hard pass. It's on the tape, sort of. Brought back in over the blue line by Patan. Pouliot going in deep. Defenseman for the Winterhawks can't come up with the puck. Pesic does. Passes behind Peddle, but he's able to get it, and he has a little room. Peddle takes a shot. That's blocked. Portland gets it once more. Patan up to Nobles. Nobles has the puck roll off his stick, and there's going to be another penalty here. And it's going to be another Edmonton penalty. This one for a roughing with 4 minutes to go in the first. The Winterhawks are going back to the power play.
Boy, that was Nobles coming up the ice. I thought Keegan Lowe played him pretty darn good. He played the chest all the way. In fact, I was looking at that thinking, boy, that's about as good as you could play a one-on-one. I know Coach Laxdal not too happy about it. If it's the play I'm thinking about, it is right here. Watch him. That puck is gone. He takes his man on the boards. Well, I guess if he takes his man on the boards at that point, the puck's already gone. In fact, his teammate's in possession. You got to call that interference.
Except they called it roughing.
Wow. What do you think?
I say, very borderline in a playoff game. Quite borderline to me in a regular season game. Nonetheless, Edmonton's PK's been pretty darn good in these playoffs. Maybe they can kill off another one here. First 30 seconds so far so good from an Edmonton standpoint. But late in the first period last night, that was a key part of the game. Portland had a two-man advantage for 51 seconds, did not cash in. The score was only 1-0 at that time. There were a few keys to the game, but to me that was one of the biggest ones. Portland not in sync in the first period last night. They went 1 for 3 eventually on their power play. This one's not setting up at all so far. A minute gone in it. And the Oil Kings in possession. Mark Pesic taking his time. Pass misses Pelch. And now Pouliot's got it, but Pelch is right on him.
Very interesting, Dan, how lack of power play urgency kind of can take you out of your momentum. They've got to make something happen here. Nothing again. And that's the one thing coaches, fans hate to see if you're for the Portland Winterhawks is a team skating 200 feet back into their own zone.
Half a minute to go in this man advantage as Pouliot drops it back. Here's Berchi in full flight, but then the puck gets away from him and Reinhart scoops it out to center. Pouliot again. Pouliot to Morrow. Morrow maintained possession only for a moment, and then Pouliot can't keep it in. Pouliot from Weyburn in Saskatchewan gains the line. Kettle trying to check him. Noble puts it back to the net. 6 seconds to go in the penalty. That's going to do it. They didn't time it well, though. They got it down the ice. They should have waited again for a defenseman to come out of the box. See if Lowe could have got a breakaway. So Portland 0 for 2 with the man advantage. Here they come, though, going to the net. And Brossoit makes a save on the sharp angle, and he squeezes it. Peters took the shot. And they'll get a face-off in the Edmonton zone.
Drafted by Pittsburgh, Joe Morrow. They've taken 23rd overall. There's a Pittsburgh writer that said this guy has absolutely got scary talent. 3 things sold the Penguins on Morrow. Number 1, he's got a great skater, he's got a terrific shot, and he's got awesome strength in that. Maybe you want to add fitness to it. At the NHL Combine, he was the only player in his group that didn't throw up in that fitness testing, and there is a bucket in the room there for exactly that purpose.
Well, that's good to know.
Tough kid, tough test.
Speaking of tests, after the game last night, there was a test for Mraz. They had random drug tests in the WHL. He said that was more pressure than anything else, having to deliver that product.
Yeah.
Behind the net, Peters tries to throw it in front, and that's intercepted. Lazar up for Legault. Yes, happy birthday, Mraz. Can you pee in this bottle, please? Corbin.
You heard about the hospital patient, the old guy that just fooled his nurse with orange juice. Said it lit a little cloudy. I'll just run it through again.
Nice. Minute to go in the first period. Leipzig. Nice pass. Wren holding it. Can't get the pass in front for Reed. Here's Gabriel reaching for the puck. Gabriel knocked off stride. And then he takes his man to the wall. Sontner does the same to him. Puck squirting free. A quick shot goes wide of the net and caroms off the corner boards out to the neutral zone. Here's Reinhart now. Reinhart trying to chip it past the defenseman. They battle in the corner with a half minute to go in the period. Rutkowski and Reinhart. Pelch in there to help out. Arm in the air. Fans wanted a penalty, and I think they're going to get one. And more pushing and shoving afterwards. And more pushing and shoving. Reed at the top here. Well, those Reinhart and Rutkowski there, but there's Pouliot and Pelch. Pretty good knot of players here. There was an initial penalty, but I don't know if they're not going to be now at even strength. We'll have to see how they sort this out.
Well, I know, Dan, it all basically starts with Griffin Reinhart. He's ventured into that offensive zone a couple times. The big guy, he gets that puck at the blue line, gets it in deep. There's a battle. It usually takes 2 or 3 guys to take Reinhart out of the play. This is him going in. That's him on the forecheck. Battle his man, Rutkowski. Now watch the loose puck. What happens there? Rutkowski goes back. He gets a stick up or an elbow up in the face. Those are 2 big, tough, rugged. Add 2 or 3 more guys into that mix, folks, and you've got a tremendous battle for that little black puck there. A lot of action around her, isn't it? Hey, Pelches, I'll get in there. I can dig this thing out of there. Look how badly he wanted it. It ain't over yet. Ah, there you go.
I think Reinhart kind of jerked his head back a little bit there, too. Hard to tell in that one look, but that was going to be the initial penalty call, and I'm not sure that the referee hasn't evened this out. There's definitely Reinhart is skating now over towards the dressing room or the bench. Does he go to the dressing room too? He was in the penalty box. Are they saying there's not a penalty on Reinhart now? He was sitting in the penalty box. Peter, what do you got down there?
According to what I just heard from one of the referees, he went to the Edmonton box guys and said that Edmonton would end up out of this fracas with a 2-minute power play. And my guess is it was for how Leipzig jumped in his part of the scrum.
Yeah, but there's only Rutkowski in the box right now, and Reinhart, who's gone from the penalty box to the bench, is lining up to play on the power play here.
But Maxwell left as well. So Maxwell's already gone to the room, and he was penalized, and he's not in the box either.
And it's Rutkowski with the penalty up on the board, and I think it was that altercation between Rutkowski and Reinhart. I mean, which we showed you, a lot of pushing, a lot of shoving. Somebody got the extra shot in there.
Well, we'll wait for the announcements. The dying seconds of the period here as St. Croix gets the puck now to Gurnett.
Penalties on the play.
Gurnett.
Number 2, Rutkowski to extra prospect.
They give cross-checking for. They gave cross-checking to Rutkowski and a roughing for Leipzig, and then, as you mentioned, Maxwell in the penalty box. So what do you think of the first?
Much different, much better Portland Winterhawk team. They forced the Oil Kings to play a little different kind of game, but you got to be impressed with the way the Edmonton Oil Kings, from what we could see, and including tonight, Dan, they're able to play any kind of game that we've seen teams try to dictate against them. They answered the push with a push, had tremendous scoring chances, shots on goal after 11-8 for the Oil Kings.
Matt Carruth, he likes to be the last player off the ice in the intermission break. 1-0 for his Winterhawks over Edmonton after 1 on Shaw.
The province, the city, and the Saskatoon Blades are ready to welcome the junior hockey world. The 2013 MasterCard Memorial Cup is coming to the Credit Union Center. For more information, visit SaskatoonBlades.com or call 306-97.
Welcome back to the WHL Championship Series from Edmonton. First time for these Oil Kings, 10th time for the Winterhawks. They've had 2 titles in their history. As you see, the Oil Kings coming out for period number 2. Bill's going to have the highlights. It was a much better Portland performance there in that first period. And somewhere in that package, I know young Leipzig is going to show up.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me show you what started this whole first period. Comes in the first minute. The Winterhawks are going to learn very quickly here. They love the transition, but when we stop it there, you're going to see 1, 2, 3, 4. Far left of your screen, you got 5 Winterhawks between the blue line. That's in first shift of the game, and away come the Oil Kings on the transition. And you know Winterhawks got to be very careful about that happening now. In this situation, stop it there. We got a scrum. 2, Rutkowski recognizes way top of the screen. He's got Brad Ross wide open. Nice headman pass by Rutkowski from that traffic in the corner. There comes Leipzig. He receives a pass. That made it 1-0. And Leipzig just so good. That's the second look at that. What a nice forehand, backhand deep. This is what we're talking about. With Leipzig on the ice, Dan, you're right. Look at the chance he gets right in front. Watch him. He's number 28. Stays on the forecheck, makes that pass back to the blue line. Where does the puck end up? On the net. He's not finished yet. All the same shift. Brendan Leipzig. How about this neat little pass coming up there to Reed? All Leipzig. When Leipzig's on the ice, Dan, the puck was in the Edmonton Oil Kings zone. And then this is how close, coming out of the box. Watch a puck hop over Pouliot's stick. That's Ashton Sonder. They came that close to making it 2-0. It's 1-0 after 20 minutes.
And there's the Leipzig goal at 2:37 of the first, with Ross and Rutkowski getting the assist. An 11-8 shot total for the Oil Kings, who will start this period. There's a couple of Winterhawks in the boxes, one for the Oil Kings. So there's a fresh ice surface here, and a minute and a half of power play time for the Oil Kings, who were 0 for 5 last night with the man advantage. 13 for 53 in these playoffs. So it's their first power play chance of this night. And maybe they can cash in quickly and make this a 1-all tie and have game on from there. We'll see how this plays out as Granat leads Reinhardt. Shot around the boards. Peters waiting for it. St. Croix trying to get it, but William Wren has a good chance to move the puck down the ice and does just that. Bourgeois. And now it'll be Reinhardt. Ross in on the forecheck, but he'll peel back as Griffin Reinhardt makes his way through the neutral zone. He rolls it in and he'll give chase. And he is indeed first to the puck as he gets it to St. Croix. St. Croix being checked though by Nobles, and that allows the Winterhawks to get it out. Reinhardt first to it at center. Reinhardt to St. Croix. St. Croix has 2 Winterhawks on him, but he got the puck into the slot area. But no, it's Nobles who comes up with it. Ross short-handed trying to get loose. Can't get that pass past Granat. And here is Rushinsky. Now St. Croix. He peels back. Edmonton making a change on their point positions on this power play. Here's Rushinsky's shot, and Caruth makes a save. Rebound! They're banging at the puck, and not only is Caruth stopping it, but he's got help from Wren as well on the doorstep.
Michael St. Croix, those excellent hands in tight. He's got terrific offensive instincts. He's a guy that's going to make this pass. I don't know if Caruth is very happy about the result of all that, but St. Croix head up. There goes that neat little pass, top of the slot, the shot. And again, nice save by Caruth, the goalkeeper.
So far, a good job by Portland on this penalty kill. 23 seconds left in the minor penalty. They won the extra one to Rutkowski that has them short-handed, and Portland gets the puck down the ice again. Mark Pesic back to collect it. Pesic from nearby Sherwood Park gets it to Lowe. Don't have to tell you where he was born. Puck shot in. Clear gets it. Shot out to the line and back in on the offside as the power play ends and all the players come out of the penalty box.
Well, there's no question in a lot of people's mind that Mark Pesic was the #1 star of the game last night. I'm telling you, he's one of those guys you'd love to have on the ice all the time, all night long. His skating makes his work, Dan, so much easier. He's so composed under pressure. And, you know, Mark Pesic's #1 job in his mind is always to get puck out of his end effectively.
Was there any Edmonton defenseman that you didn't like last night?
No, you're right. As a group, I thought Cody Corbett might have been as good a defenseman as they had last night in the lineup.
And they were all terrific. Long shot. And when you go through the defense, they've got Pesic and Corbett and Lowe and Sontner and Reinhardt and Granat, and they all bring different things to the party, and they were all big contributors to the Game 1 win last night by Edmonton.
The sum of the parts is always greater than the individuals. It seems like when there's 2 Edmonton defense on the ice, you feel like you got 2.5, maybe even 3 on the ice. They work so efficiently.
And there's Derek Laxdal, his team trailing 1-0. There's Lowe and Pesic, and they work so well together. They're almost always together as a defensive pairing. Rushinsky and Nobles on the faceoff. Nobles wins it cleanly. Back to Morrow, waiting to set it up as he gets to Patan into the slot. A shot by Nobles hits Lowe, bounces to Rushinsky, and Rushinsky plays it to Pesic, who then gets the puck out to center ice. Jordan Peddle rolls it in, and Nobles is going to be first back to it. Rushinsky in on him, but Nobles with one hand able to get it over here to Morrow, and then Berchi backhands it out to center. And in transition, here comes Nobles. Nobles with Patan. A quick shot to save him. Patan can't get his stick on the rebound. Out to the center ice area once more, and Berchi's got it. Then Berchi gets it back to Hansen. Hansen to Morrow. Morrow going wide, in on Pesic. Shot handled by Grossois. The 11th shot on goal for Portland.
And there's a lot of thought about what you do with the second most important trophy your team wins in the Western Hockey League. This is the league championship. Well, there you go, the Portland Winterhawks. Watch on your right, folks. Let's all get a part of that trophy. Touch. Watch Pesek on the left. Look, watch him. Watch him. He look over his team. He's going to look over. What do I do? What do I do? Do I touch it? You don't touch it. Bad luck.
But on the right, everybody's touching it.
Yeah, you're a kid. No kid, because you remember before the Kootenai final, they said, "Well, we're not
touching it." And how'd that work out?
Yeah, exactly.
That didn't work out so well. So we're all touching it this time.
Got to make sure you all do.
Yeah. I hope that trophy's okay. Here's St. Croix. Here's Pelch, and his shot hit a leg. Puck going wide of the net. Leipzig chasing it on the far side. Gets it up to Brad Ross. Ross now for Reed. Off his stick as Saunders checked him. Wotherspoon shoots it back in again. 1-0 Portland. An early first period goal scored by Leipzig. That's been it so far, but we've had a lot of action in this game. St. Croix shot, turned aside and angled nicely by Caruth to get that puck out of play.
You know, you look at stats, and we're not huge stat guys, not because, you know, you can make out of them what you want, but one stat that clearly does jump out at you in the playoffs, goals against the Portland Winterhawks 47, the Edmonton Oil Kings 24. Well, I'll tell you, folks, that's just about half as many, and that's got to be a factor somewhere down the road.
Lear gets the puck out to center. Penalty coming up here. The Winterhawks are going to be shorthanded as Gernat is down, and not sure if a stick came up. Must have been that. Peters going to the box, and he goes right to the box. No question about it. The only question now is it going to be a minor penalty or more?
Well, yeah, he gets it pretty good. Obviously accidental, but still, it's a known fact. You have to be responsible for your own stick, and Gernat's got to be thinking, wait a minute, we got a power play? I love the power play, Gernat says. My activate defense button is stuck on. Just go every chance you get around the net. I don't even know. Is he even thinking about going off the ice?
Nope.
No.
Gernat and Reinhardt, the point man, as the penalty is a minor penalty for high sticking. Second power play for Edmonton, second of this period, with the carryover mostly from the late first period penalty. Winterhawks did an excellent job in killing the first one.
2 minutes for high sticking.
Maxwell.
Now the penalty.
Now to St. Croix. Shot around the boards. It goes over to Gernat. Reinhardt can't keep it in because the pass was behind him. And now the puck goes back all the way down into the Edmonton Oil King zone. Minute and a half to go in the power play. And Gernat slowly out of his own zone. There's Lazar. St. Croix. Reinhardt shoots, save, rebound, and Caruth gets his glove on it just in time as both Maxwell and St. Croix were in front of the net.
You know, as the Oil Kings come into the Winterhawks zone, Dan, they're going to create a whole bunch of situations where there's a lot of activity around that puck there. The nice job is getting it to the wide open guy, and that's Reinhardt. Reinhardt gets the shot on the net, and he's got a pretty good bullet of a shot. That's a nice job of Caruth to deaden all that. That puck doesn't get very far away from him, but terrific recognition by the Oil Kings to get it to Reinhardt.
Samuelson takes the face-off but lost it. Ren's got it now, and he takes a shot down the ice, and Rochois will handle the puck, leave it at the side of the net for Lowe. Both teams' penalty kills have been pretty good here in this period, in this game. And for the most part, the first two games, only the one power play goal so far. That was scored last night by Portland in a game they trailed 3-0. And again, they're out of their own zone. If you joined us late, Ty Ratty out of the lineup. Ratty with 17 goals and 30 points to lead the WHL playoff scoring. Injured at the 4-minute mark of the third period. Left the game last night and not here tonight in terms of being in the lineup. Here's a chance now down low, and a shot by Samuelson turned aside by Caruth. Pelch is out there as well. Samuelson trying to get it. Comes back to the blue line. Here's Lowe. Lowe back for Samuelson, trying to set something up. Back it goes for Lowe. Had to take it on his backhand. A shot is knocked down, and Reed's got it for Portland. Up towards Ross. Always dangerous, shorthanded is Ross. As he goes in for Portland, he's going to kill time. Lowe kind of took him out of the way, I thought, with the cross check there. Samuelson Oh, and then he's hit by Ross as they go to the body, and Portland has killed another one. So both teams 0 for 2 with the man advantage in game 2. Here's Pesek now. He rolls the puck in and heads to the bench on a line change. Pouliot. Now Rakowski. Lead pass. Leipzig. Now from the corner boards there. Delio trying to work it in front. Reinhart got it. Come back to Rakowski though. And a high shot sailing over top the net. Battle on this near side. Wilson and Lear battling for it. Edmonton wins the battle and Iwanek is out of his own zone. He shoots it in. Edmonton making a bit of a change. There's a collision between Rakowski and Iwanek in his throw. They front. Here's a chance and it goes wide. Mraz from point blank range. An awesome opportunity for Edmonton to tie the game. Leipzig with Lear in that corner area. And a lot of battles going on in these corner areas. Saunders got the puck now. Portland making a change. Long change here in the second period. So they take advantage with the puck down there in the Edmonton zone. Nearing the 7-minute mark of the second period. Game 2 in Edmonton tonight. Game 3 in Portland on Sunday, starting at 6 o'clock Pacific time. And Game 4 is on Tuesday, starting at 7 Pacific from Portland. The entire series on Shaw. Here's a turnover and an opportunity and a quick shot that's turned around by Patan. Hit a body before it got towards the net. And here come the Oil Kings. Mraz now to Wilson. Caruth leaves it for Morrow, and out he comes. Nobles takes the puck. Nobles waiting for some help on the far side. There's the pass. They're setting it up as it's Patan knocking it down to the corner. Morrow way down there deep, being pinned up there by Lowe. Got to think the next goal is a pretty big one here in game 2, the way it's shaping up. Does Foster have it here? Right in! Pesek on the rebound. Couldn't get his stick on it. Hopped over his stick as he went hard to the net. Is the net dislodged in any way? I guess not. It looks like it's still in place. Even though they went pretty hard to the goal, and there's Caruth smothering it. No rebound. Face off in the Portland zone.
When Morrow goes in deep into the Edmonton Oil Kings zone, Nick Patan is forced to play defense. And boy, is he exposed in a hurry. That's him back on the top right of the screen. Foster, way too much speed for Patan. He takes it hard to the net. He recognizes, Foster does, that he's got a 16-year-old forward playing defense, and that's all that Nick Patan can do to play the defensive position as he gets burned to the outside.
Henrik Samuelsson to go in to take the face-off against Peters. Somebody moved too soon. He'll do it again.
By the way, in the face-offs in the first period, Portland 10, Edmonton 1-5. Last night, Edmonton with a slight edge in the face-off circle.
Curtis Lazar now goes in to take that face-off after Samuelsson had been tossed out. Nice play there by Granat to keep the puck in briefly, and it goes all the way back. Knocked down with a high stick, or is this icing? It's icing called, and the face-off will go all the way back.
You know, you saw Mraz earlier with a nice chance right in the high slot area. Last night in game 1, I can tell you, the scouts were scribbling notes all over the place on 17-year-old Mitch Mraz. Look at him in that spot. He's a power move around Derek Pouliot last night, going to the net. Granat finished the goal off. He made the hit on Ty Ratty. I'm anxious as heck to see where that kid's going to get drafted. I think he'd be a surprise this year.
There's Legault coming off the boards. Legault throws it towards the net. Now it's Portland trying to get it out. They do just that. Only for a moment. Looked like Corbett was going to send it in, but he couldn't. That's going to be offside. And we get another play stoppage in the neutral zone. Well, it was fun to watch Mraz last night. It was fun to watch a lot of those Oil Kings, but Mitchell Mraz, I thought, Bill, I mean, it's so typical of Edmonton. It's a different guy every night that kind of comes to life and is a real story of the game. And it's got to be such a key when you're going deep in the playoffs to have those kind of contributions.
Yeah, you know, we talked about it last night as well, but still, I'm looking for St. Croix, Maxwell, Pelch.
There's a turnover and a chance and a save by Brossois, and another save on the doorstep as Brossois had to be sharp to keep this thing 1-0. And Brossoit so far has faced now 14 shots. Ross right there on the doorstep looking for the second goal.
When you've got that puck on your stick in this spot right there like Sautner does, that's got to come out. You get two chances to come out. Really, really good position. Get that puck in, get it to Ross, and that's how close the Portland Winterhawks come to making it a 2-0 Winterhawk lead. Boy, that's great concentration by Brossoit, the goaltender. Followed it all the way. Lost it a little bit at the end, but he was in perfect position.
Off a player who has scored 109 regular season goals, Ross has, in his WHL career. There's a turnover again in the neutral zone. Leipzig going in now. Leipzig takes a shot, that goes wide of the goal. Reed waits for it, gets it off the backboards, dumps it down to Leipzig. Leipzig, a little bit of room. He shovels it over to Wren. Wren puts it back to the net. Ross reaching it. Now Reed. Reed and Ross and Sautner all battling for the puck. Leipzig in there as well. Sautner really has his hands full, but he does not only come up with the puck, then he gave it away. Leipzig holds, shoots it, Brossoit, or is it in? It's a goal for Leipzig. Scores Leipzig 2-0 Winterhawks. Looked like Brossoit. I guess we're getting used to him making spectacular saves. He stuck the glove out, but it got over top of him, and the Winterhawks have a 2-goal lead.
We talked about the Winterhawks having to force issues in the offensive zone. Just showed you a turnover earlier that goaltender Brossoit made a save on. Well, there's Sautner with a second turnover in that almost same sequence. Leipzig gets it to the front, forehand, backhand, Ross off to the side. That puck's got to go upstairs. It does, or does he get a little bit of a piece of it? That's how close Brossoit comes to making this save. Boy, I'll tell you what.
I thought he had it, Bill.
He had a pretty good piece of that. But again, the turnovers, you can smell it right now. You see that Edmonton Oil King team having a little bit of trouble coming out of their own zone.
After the Sautner giveaway, an unassisted goal at 9:20, second of the 9/6 of the playoffs. And as I mentioned, we've seen Brossoit make so many spectacular saves, and he stopped about 80% of that one, but that last 20% makes it a 2-0 Portland lead. Time of the goal, 9:20. This is foreign territory for the Oil Kings. There's a centering pass, and what a save by Carruth! Wow! Mark that one down, and Portland holds on to win game 2, because just seconds after the 2-0 goal, Matt Carruth makes his biggest save so far of this series.
I think it's Keegan Lowe that follows this play up. Brzezinski's going to get it down low. And, you know, it's a case being down 2-0. You don't want to change your game plan completely. But if you're Keegan Lowe, you know that you've got to get going. You got to get going to the front of the net. Don't know what those hand signals are all about, but that guy there just made his biggest save of this hockey game. No question about that. This is Brzezinski. There's number 4, Lowe. He's got to go to the front of the net. That puck ends up going perfectly to his stick. Has time to take it from his backhand to his forehand. Watch a little move with it there. Stops it, shoots it. Wow, big save by Carruth. He gets out of the way and gets into the corner of the rink and lets all the things happen in front. And the gloves on the ice are usually an indicator that something not too good happened in the fisticuff area.
There's a lot of jawing still going on too at the penalty box. There's Morrow. He's just yelling at Keegan Lowe over there, over top of the minor officials. Lowe and Morrow. You know, there's Lowe on your left and there's Peddle on your right. He got a penalty as well. Not sure how it'll be distributed here. I'm sure Laxdal, the coach, wants to know that even more than we do.
Well, Joe Morrow's had just a terrific season. 64 points, the most since Andrew Ferentz, defenseman for the Winterhawks, had 68 points back in the 97-98 season, and talked about his toughness. Coaches just want him to simplify his game just a little bit. Mike Johnson would like to see Morrow kind of join the rush more than lead the rush. Better use a shot more that way, but we're going to...
Extra penalty bill on Edmonton. Will be a Portland power play and a chance to build on their 2-0 lead.
Yeah, and this is a significant part, obviously, of Game 2 here in the Western Hockey League Finals for the Ed Chanel Cup.
So third power play, and here's a chance for Rakowski off the post. Rakowski hits the goal post, and the goalpost might be bruised. He got so much of that one. 4 minutes for roughing for Keegan Lowe. That's the extra minor as Pouliot gets it back to Rutkowski. Rutkowski, hard pass. Berchi shot. What a save by Brossois with the glove. He stopped that one as it deflected to the corner. Hard pass to Berchi. Scores! What a shot! Berchi makes it 3-0. Did he pick that out of midair? It's a power play goal, and it is a beauty for Portland.
Dan, he gets so much on this shot that he actually goes down to one knee to get a little bit more leverage. I'm not so sure he handles it at all. He stops the puck and he shoots the puck. You want to know why this guy's going to be a big-time goal scorer in the National Hockey League? You watch. That doesn't do it quite justice till we come to this play right here. It's going to come from that point. Is that Rutkowski indeed? And I mean, from that spot, I don't think Brossois had any chance to get over it. Hey, this is what I was looking for right here. Here we go. This is a big-time release. Wow. Sensational.
Berchi's second goal of the finals, I should say, his 9th of the playoffs. At 10:28, Rutkowski, the assist, the power play is 1 for 3, and it's a 3-0 Portland lead in a quiet Rexall place right now. Gabriel puts a shot on Brossois. Gabriel again in the corner. Gabriel again gets it back to Pouliot. Pouliot over to Gabriel. Gabriel back to Wren. Takes a shot, and that almost squeezed through. Brossois saw it. Went off him, and then it went to the corner. Here's Lazar coming out. Lazar shoots the puck in. All this without Ty Ratty. This Portland team, playing without their top scorer, has a 3-0 lead. And now the play goes offside. And Ross is in an exchange with Corbett, and Legault's in there as well. And we'll take a break with the Winterhawks leading Game 2 by 3 on that beauty by Berchi.
Portland head coach and general manager Mike Johnson with us. Coach, we talked this morning after the morning skate. You wanted your team to manage the puck a lot better and have your defense activate. I take it you like what you've seen so far.
I like how we brought it up the middle and then we bump it to the outside and try and drive those outside lanes and create something off the rush with some space in that. So that's a key thing, I think, in the neutral zone against a strong team like this.
No Ty Ratty, but a number of your players have responded, maybe none more so than your goaltender tonight.
Yeah, Mac's been good. You know, on those rush, Mac's been really good that way. And I think that really against a team like this, they're a good counterpunch team, they're a good rush team. That's where you have to be strong on our back check, and then Mac was good around the crease.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
Folks, you just saw Berchi with a big league goal right here in Edmonton. Well, how about his stint up with the Calgary Flames? 5 games in that uniform there. Look at that look. What a thrill it was for him in that situation. Wow. I mean, he's just around that puck. He's so good with it. Forehand, backhand, deke. You saw the shot. I mean, is this kid having fun up there? Wow, he's going to be a special player for this Calgary Flame team one day.
His first NHL goal against the Minnesota Wild against goaltender Matt Hackett. His first, we presume, of many, many. Already with 3. Big one here tonight, giving his team a 3-goal lead.
You know, Dan, he called his parents to tell him he was going up to play with the Calgary Flames, and they thought it was impossible. Both his mom and his dad had never heard of this emergency call-up rule. They said it can't be the case. He says, yeah, it is the case. I'm going up to play. What a thrill that was for him.
His mom wakes up every morning in Switzerland at 4 in the morning, puts on the WHL website, and watches every one of her son's game from Switzerland. Has for the entire time he's been in the WHL. Here's Pelch coming up the boards. Pelch's shot, that's stopped and held on to by Carruth, and they're trying to get some traffic on Carruth. St. Claude going in there hard, but Carruth handles it and holds on.
And by the way, Berchi does have some of his money in a Swiss bank account. you know, Dan, I wonder about, a guy like Berchi, how closely he followed Nino Niederreiter. Obviously, he's watched him with a great amount of interest. How could the Islanders let Niederreiter go 49 games without a point? I mean, are they that weak in terms of their talent? That should never happen to a young kid playing in the National Hockey League.
8 minutes exactly remaining here in the second period. These teams will go on to Portland tomorrow. They'll fly in this series with no bus travel. Leipzig going in and throws it towards the front of the net. Went off Reed's skates to the corner. Lead pass. Pelch brings it in over the line. Drops it to Reinhart. Reinhart moving in. Shoots. And that went off Caruth and or the post wide of the net. Reed starts back 3-on-2. Leipzig's on his left. Takes the pass in his skates and a hard pass through the goal mouth area. Ross waits for it. Back for Leipzig. Reed in the slot. Can't come up with it cleanly, and Pesic gets it. Well, we did see Edmonton down 3 goals at Moose Jaw, and their only loss of the last 25 games. This is foreign territory in their own building, I can tell you that. As they have won 13 straight in this game, in this building, going back to February 22nd. And they're not used to coming from behind. Foster couldn't handle the puck. Caruth plays it to the line. Both teams in the first 2 games have built up 3-0 lead. Portland made it 3-2 yesterday. Can Edmonton fight back the same way Portland did? Peddle throws it in front. Here's Pelch. Foster, I should say, on the side of the net. Couldn't get that one cleanly. Grenat shot. Peddle on the backhand. Doesn't reach the net. And back the other way comes Delio. Delio. Lead pass for Baker. Baker and Peters in the corner boards. Edmonton comes up, and here they come, led by Peddle. Owanek on his left. Corbett heading to the net. The save by Caruth. Owanek trying to fish it off the netting. Puck still loose, and Caruth, it's in the net. What's going on here? No goal. It's under the net. It wasn't in, it was under. There's a difference.
It was probably across the line, but under the net. You got that right. You know, I think this Peddle just throwing that puck to the front of the net, Dan, just prior to this. And sometimes you need a good bounce. Watch where that puck deflects to. Right to the side of the net to Foster. But that's just a great job. Terrific job, Tyler Wotherspoon moving his man out. Watch Wotherspoon make sure that there's no second chance. Drives his man right out of there. Stays with him. Closes the gap on him. And pretty much ends that play.
And the referee waving off the goal. And Derek Laxdal looking on from the Edmonton bench. You're going to look at this replay once more from the reverse angle. And maybe they're even reviewing this. I don't know. Puck on the net, and it's underneath, and they're whacking at it.
There it is.
But how did it get in?
Yeah, that's interesting.
How did that get in?
Wow. You know what?
That's now a review, and now we're questioning up here whether that might be a goal. As you look at veteran referee Matt Kirk in conversation, I'm sure we're going to get an overhead look at this at some stage.
Yeah, it's a good look at it right here. It's on the net, it's on the net, it's on the net. Caruth can't grab it. It is, wow. Does that go? Let's have a real good look at that again, guys. Slow that down. It might just, that angle was the best, folks. You're not going to see it from here. But the one we just had, guys, it was perfect.
No goal.
Wow. All right. Here, watch it. Does that puck go from that spot off the goaltender? Keep your eye on the pad. Keep your eye on the skate.
The puck's already at the back, though.
Now, yeah, that's right, and it didn't.
Maybe an overhead we'll have a look at next whistle.
But I see, you know, when Caruth looks down there, he kind of feels the puck hit him. He feels something there.
Well, I saw an overhead on the Jumbotron, and it's, again, as inconclusive as the other one, so fans don't like it very much here as it remains 3-0. And here are the Oil Kings once more. Legault got it down low. Here's a chance through the goal mouth area as Hamilton and Lazar trying to combine. They couldn't. Noble starts back. Noble brings it in for Patan. Patan shot wide of the net. Samuelson tries a quick one-time pass. Now a glove hand in the neutral zone. That'll blow play down with 5.5 to go in the second.
Dan, you hear the reaction of the crowd, and it's all because of this. Okay, you got to concentrate, folks. You got to follow the puck. Let's have a look at this. See the skate?
Oh, yes.
All right, see the skate up against the post. Okay, watch it. Now,
Are you contemplating even folding one of these $8 when I think you got a couple of screws loose and you got to blow off the shell?
Oh, off his pants. Is the puck up high? Oh, off the stripe, off his pants, maybe. Rocker that one more time back, guys. Wow. Well, I know one thing. Caruth felt something. That's why he put his hand down there. Yikes. That one's high on the yikes scale.
The other aspect of that, as Caruth makes the save, is the net was not in place when that went in.
Well, that's it. I wondered about that.
They have a little bit of that to, I don't say hide behind, but they could fall back to that, say, well, the net was off its support, or at least dislodged, but I don't know. That's a tough one.
But all of this has got Coach Laxdal a little bit perplexed, but
it's nice to be in high def, though, to look at that. Now, next year when we're in 3D, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah. We'll reach out and touch it.
Well, maybe not next year.
And the Winterhawks have really got to react now. This Edmonton Oil King team is on a major forecheck. Boy, they pressure that puck well, and you know that William Wren knew that. Just get it out.
2-on-1. Here's Reed in front. Shot. What a save! Off Leipzig. Looking for the hat trick. And Brossois comes over, and he's thumped off his pads. Leipzig having himself a terrific game here. Almost had his third of the game. And it remains 3-0. A lot of things happening in this one. Puck goes down the ice, no icing. Hansen and Foster. Foster by himself for now. Noble takes the puck off him, but Foster trying to do the same. Iwanek goes in to try and throw a hit. And here's Pesek from inside his own line. He hit the linesman, and that threw the play partially offside. It's waved off. And now Pesek, his pass for Mraz. Mraz trying to go in deep. He's hit by Nobles. Low on the pinch, puts it behind that. Here's Mraz throwing it in front with one hand, but intercepted, and it's shot back into the center ice area. Patan's got the puck. Patan gets it to Nobles. Nobles to Morrow. Nobles is hit. Berchi's got the puck. Lost the puck to Pesek, who leads a rush for Edmonton. Pesek cuts to the middle. Shot just wide of the net. What a great rush up the ice by Mark Pesek. Iwanek shot. Oh, it just went wide. Pesek throws it in front once more, and the Winterhawks have it. Here's Reinhardt. His shot. That changes directions. Goes to the corner, and Reinhardt knocked down. Pesek gets the puck. And then the puck comes out to center. Could be a 2-on-1, but Peters couldn't get loose with Patan. Puck shot in. Pesek, who's been at the other end of the ice, is now down there on the defensive responsibility. And he takes his man out. Reinhardt goes in to help out. Comes back to Rutkowski. Long shot. That's knocked down by Reinhardt. Under 3 minutes to go in the second. 3-0 Portland. Game 2 with the Oil Kings leading the series 1-0. Let's go Oil Kings. That's the chant in the building right now. They won one before the end of the period. They thought they might have had one a few moments ago. They've been coming on, as Bill's mentioned. And here's another chance. Corbett in front, and it's redirected onto Caruth, and he makes another save in the Portland goal crease.
You know, we just talked about the Oil Kings on a terrific pressure. This was maybe as good a shift on the forechecking as they had. William Wren recognizes that, just dumps it out. And that's a danger. Sometimes you bring everybody into the offensive zone. You see the 2-on-1, Reed to Leipzig. And then again, the last scoring chance for the Oil Kings, that was Corbett moving in. Top of the face-off circle. You're going to see more and more of that. Defense moving in, trying to get that shot from some pretty sweet areas.
Portland has not always been the best team at protecting leads, so if Edmonton can get one, you just never know what the third period could be all about here. As Corbett takes a shot, there's a rebound at the side of the net. Lazar and Samuelson trying to bang it. Lazar behind the net for Samuelson. Wotherspoon checking him, but Legault goes in to get the puck. Wren tries to check him off. It does. Gets it to Leipzig. And Portland out of their own zone. Leipzig sidesteps the check by Corbett. Ross goes in. And now Legault with 2 minutes to go in the period. Still Legault as he tries to chop it towards the net. Wren takes him out. Lazar going in, can't get it. Ross does. Clears it out to the center ice area. It was way up high, knocked down by Corbett and Grenat. Reorganizing from inside that Edmonton line. Lazar and Lear as they battle for the puck. Now another one on the far side. Samuelson and Wotherspoon, won by the Portland player. Gabriel coming in. Here's Lear. Peters to the net. Peters right in! Scores! Portland makes it 4-0 on the goal scored by Taylor Peters. His first playoff goal, and it's a biggie for Portland late in the second.
You talk a lot about the Winterhawks and their transition. Folks, it might sound like a broken record, but when they can play that kind of game, they're dangerous. They come out of that zone. That play started right at the Edmonton blue line. They come up the ice as a group. I said in the pregame show, last night, in my opinion, there were very, very few of these odd-numbered rushes. This is what you're guarding against the Winterhawks. They can come from anywhere. They were getting the greasy goals last night. Tonight, they're getting the line rush goals. That was a beauty by Peters.
Gabriel the second assist, Lear the first assist on Peters' first goal of these playoffs. Petan going in now. Peters had 12 goals in the regular season. He was their best defensive player. He didn't look like a defensive player there. And the co-winner of their Scholastic Team Award, I should point out as well. But there's a big one for Peters. And the Winterhawks have themselves a 4-goal lead in the last minute of the second period. And this again without their best player, Ty Ratty, sidelined since the 4-minute mark of the third period last night. And another turnover, and here's Leipzig once more over top the net, and he went to the net himself hard as it's knocked off of support. Is there any question who the best player on the ice is tonight?
Yeah, no question. He takes his puck right away. A turnover from Reinhardt. I mean, look at the kid. He loves it. He says he's not going to the National Hockey League draft. He says he's superstitious. Talked to scouts before the game tonight. They say this guy is definitely on the radar. He just strips that puck, away he goes in a diving play by Sautner to try to break it up, and the goalpost was not going to stop Brendan Leipzig on that play.
High-scoring Portland now has 72 goals in these playoffs. Edmonton has 56. Now the comparison is goals against. 47 allowed by Portland and now 28 by the Edmonton Oil Kings, who, unless they stage a huge rally, are going to lose for the first time on home ice since February the 22nd. And that was the Kelowna Rockets, who last won here at Rexall Place. 9 seconds, Foster fakes, trying to go around Wren dives to get that puck to the corner. And the horn will sound with the Winterhawks having 3 goals in the middle period to blow this thing open. It's 4-0 for Portland.
We expected that. Not sure we expected the 4-0 score after 40 minutes, folks, but you certainly expected to see a Portland Winterhawk team that thrives, absolutely thrives on time and space, line rushes, coming up the ice as a unit. And boy, it was pretty good period for the team in red with a 4-0 lead after 40 minutes of play.
3 goals on, hey, he doesn't go anywhere. He's got a 200-feet journey up the other ice to his dressing room. 3 goals in the period for the Portland Winterhawks. Stay tuned, lots more coming up on Shaw. We're back in Edmonton. The Oil Kings do not have an official goal, but we are told that puck did go in the net. The explanation has been explained to me by Rick Dirksen and Kevin Minch by the league. Initially waved off on the ice by the referee. Then they went to video and it was inconclusive in the looks that they were initially given. And then, like all the fans in the building, I guess they saw another one that we saw, and now the play had already started. They can't go back, but they are saying that the puck was in, but they didn't have any evidence of it when they made their ruling. Over to you now.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's unfortunate at that point from the Edmonton Oil Kings standpoint, but it was a lot of Portland Winterhawks in that period, and this was a sign of things to come. 2 chances to get it out, they're unable to do so. They get that opportunity. Dan, it's 1-0, then they go to work here. Watch the 3 Winterhawks support, 2 in, high guy. That's a wonderful triangle. They even rotate it. Watch the 3 Winterhawks. okay? They force the play. Now they're going to switch it. Out goes one man, and now the little triangle's over on the right side. And eventually, it causes the turnover. Great forechecking. Sontner turns that puck over. It's 2-0. A nice job of scoring that goal by Leipzig. What a save by Caruth. It's 2-0. Lowe breaks into that spot and makes a terrific save on that play. Then the play to Berchi. Rakowski to Berchi. Bang, it's in the back of the net. Watch the release. Just that great snapshot. That made it 3-0. Wonderful look at it at that point. The 4-0 goal. Here they come up the ice, three of them. Lear, Peters, Gabriel. That's the line rush. They're coming from everywhere at this point. It's 4-0 Portland Winterhawks.
And there's your summary of the second period. Leipzig, Berchi, and Peters. The score, by the way, was 3-0 at the time of that controversial play around the Portland goal. Now we've blown it up down in the truck, and somewhere in there you can see the puck off the back of Caruth. Puck is going to come into that white picture right there, and then bounce back in the net. Pretty hard when the predominant color of the Portland pants are black, and the puck is too. Now, fortunately, it was 3-0 at the time, and the game could change, but it wasn't 0-0 or it wasn't overtime. It could have been even a bigger play, but we'll still consider it a fairly significant one. Score now 4-0 as Foster brings the puck in over the blue line, and he keeps going, but it's hooked off his stick. When leading after 2 in these playoffs, Portland is 7-2. This is a 4-goal lead, so it seems fairly large. Let's see if they can start chipping away at it. The Oil Kings, it's shot on to Caruth, and it's lost in his equipment somewhere. And we'll get a face-off after that play stoppage.
You know, a lot of Portland Winterhawks stand pretty deep in their own zone trying to defend. They got to make sure you don't forget about the points. The Edmonton Oil Kings will get pucks back to the blue line. They will catch the team in red a little too deep in their own zone, and you know, trading 4-0, they're going to have those point guys walk in, get every opportunity they can to get pucks on the net.
Now, Portland's had a couple of reminders about leads in the third period. Just go ask the Kamloops Blazers that. In Game 4, when they were on their way to a sweep, they had a 4-0 lead in that game in the first period and lost to Kamloops. And then in the deciding game, they had a 5-2 lead in the third period. In Game 6, I should say, what could have been a deciding game. And Kamloops roared back, tied, and forced to Game 7.
Then that situation kind of reared its ugly head even in the regular season.
Maxwell going in, and a shot goes up high. So what I'm trying to say is that no lead is safe, but go ahead.
Well, no, there was same case. I believe it was a Kamloops Blazers scored 5 goals in the third period during the league in a regular season game to end up, winning that hockey game. There was a stretch. And this would be a red flag for me, to be honest with you. There was a stretch against the Kamloops Blazers in the playoffs that the Blazers outscored the Portland Winterhawks 12-1. Now, having said that, what a wonderful job they did in correcting that in that 2-0 shutout in Game 7 against the same Kamloops Blazers. So Mike Johnson's team made a wonderful adjustment there.
And then a 4-game sweep over the Tri-City Americans.
Exactly.
So they trended back upwards, but here's a chance for Edmonton at the side of the net. Lazar trying to put it in front. Pelch will try to do the same and comes back to Corbett at the blue line. Long pass in front, and for Lazar to save and a rebound, and another save by Caruth off Samuelson. Here's Gurnett. Cross ice, shot up high. Rattles hard around the glass on the fresh ice, and out to the neutral zone it goes. In over the line, there's Pelch once more. Lazar off the side of the net. Rutkowski being checked by Pelch, and a shot by Samuelson, high and wide. A lot of the Edmonton shots going off the target right now. Sontner from inside his own blue line. And here's Samuelson, one of 4 Oil Kings whose dad played in the National Hockey League. His dad, Wolf, a 2-time Stanley Cup champion winner with the Pittsburgh Penguins. Pouliot. There's Lear dumping it out and down the ice as could be and should be icing.
Yeah, Henrik Samuelsson at 6'2", 195 does battle some weight problems from time to time. He's been as high as 225, and he can't get the job done when he's at that size. He can create in close. That's him, number 10. He finds pucks. He's in traffic. He's got a good, a good nose for the offensive part of the game. Stays in shape. It doesn't take too long of shifts. He's great.
Bob Green also listed his older brother Philip to play for the Oil Kings, but couldn't convince him at the time. That was a few years back, and Philip was part of Pittsburgh. Here is a chance and a shot over top the net by St. Croix. He roared in. Here's Foster back for St. Croix. He couldn't get it. Lots of early pressure here by Edmonton, trying to get on the board. They too have known about Portland blowing leads. I'm sure they talked about that in the intermission. Get an early one, you never know. 4 is pretty huge even for a team that does give up leads. Morrow from inside his line. Gave it away, but only briefly as the Winterhawks get it back once more. Patan puts the puck back of the net for Berchi. Ty Ratty out of the game, and we don't have anything more than what we passed along to you, and that some of the people we've talked to say it's not a concussion, that it is something else, and that there is some expectation that he could be back by as early as Sunday. But that's all we know, and it's very vague, but we pass along it, even though it's kind of vague for us too.
Well, you remember I mentioned last night, Dan, that Ty Ratty says he'll do anything to help his team win, get on the power play, take any kind of punch, take any kind of, hit. Not so sure. You mentioned at the time that he wouldn't quite go that far, but the Winterhawks have done a terrific job, playing here tonight, reacting without Ty Ratty in the lineup.
And what a lift it would give him or them if they can win without him, as it looks like they're going to do here tonight. That goes offside, and then if he returns to the lineup, all the better from a Portland standpoint.
Yeah, Foster, St. Croix, part of that early pressure you talked about. Boy, the first minute and a half, a lot of chances by the Oil Kings. They stay on side. Here's the shot. A lot of time to get it away. Caruth in pretty good position. He's at the top of the paint. He just got a piece of that. Sometimes that's all you have to do, obviously, is get a chunk of it. And I think it deflected up into the netting.
10,720 is the attendance of this game, game number 2.
That's more like it. We're getting there.
Last night, 7,400 for the opener. That shot was blocked, and we know there'll be big crowds at the Rose Garden. Here's a 3-on-1 for Portland. Reed to Morrow, and he misses the net. 3-on-1 for the Winterhawks, and I would imagine they're going to get a few outnumbered attacks here. Edmonton now in front of the goal, off the post. Reed scores! Out! Well, there's one of them. Helst from Garnett after the goal post, and it's now Portland 4, Edmonton 1.
If you're the Edmonton Oil King players, if you're the Edmonton Oil King coaching staff, if you're the Oil King fans, you have to be rewarded for the first 5 minutes of this period the way you played. That's Garnett sliding in as he has so often in the series against the Warriors as well. Drills one off the post, and absolutely no chance on the second chance as Pelch buries it. Wow, that should give the Oil Kings some life.
Here's the announcement.
Assistant number 28, Martin Gernat. Number 27, Curtis Lazar.
We should point out two things. First off, here's a giveaway. Lear takes a shot, saved by Brossois. Well, before that giveaway, the shots were 13-0 in this period in favor of Edmonton. The other thing I was going to point out, if you take it in 5-minute segments, and maybe that's what they talked about, get one every 5, you can come back in this game. Brossois with a save from center. Gets the puck back out to the blue line area. Here's Pouliot, his shot. That's knocked down. And it's Peddle with the puck. Patan can't get it back to the blue line area. And the puck is shot in by Wilson. The clock, for one, you're hearing me pause here, Bill. The clock isn't running. I mean, that's a good way of trying your comeback. The clock has been stuck on 15 minutes and 16 seconds since the goal. It finally gets going now.
Wow.
They've lost at least a minute of play here. Are they going to be able to alert everybody? Anybody but us catch that? Let's look at the on-ice officials. Somebody's got to buzz them over. Yes, they are finally going to go over there. And I think have the shot clock all mixed up here too, Bill. It might be 3-0 in this period.
Yeah, before the goal, that was the third shot on net. You're right, Dan. But the key was they were good quality chances. Be interested to see how much time they've taken off the clock. But I know they're pretty focused. Assistant coach Steve Hamilton for the Edmonton Oil Kings. You know, they flash messages on the screen, and there was his dad at 63 Memorial Cup Championship team had a message on the screen, but he said he was so focused he didn't even get a chance to see the message up there because he's got that great group of defense that he works with. And I guess that might be just a case of guys, you know what? They don't pay attention maybe up to the clock as much as they should. Good thing the officials caught it.
And now there's 13 and a half minutes remaining, as you can see up on the top of your screen. Long shot. So we had confusion with everything there. Shot clock, time clock. The only thing we got, I think, pretty much solid is the score. It's 4-1 Portland.
And I totally agree with you. One goal every 5 minutes if you're the Oil Kings. Yeah, it's a heck of a mountain to climb. And, you know, if you're getting scoring chances, that's the main thing. You're that far behind, and if you don't get scoring chances, it's like trying to light the wood in the, start a fire and the wood's all wet. You have to get scoring chances. And to this point, the Oil Kings have done that. Winterhawks try to answer with a rush up the ice.
Well, I think they're going to get chances too because of the behind position Edmonton's in, and they're going to need Bourgeois to completely shut the door right now. And we know he's good at that. It's not an area the Oil Kings are used to, fighting from behind. Trailing after 2, though, they're 4-1.
Well, you know, from the Winterhawks standpoint, and we've already said that, you don't want a situation where it's here we go again.
Gurnett puts the puck wide. Might have hit Bruce on the way. Nobles tries to reach it, couldn't. Corbett gets the puck, gets a chance to move it for a second, but instead it's a 2-on-1 in transition. Nobles with Berchi. Nobles in front for Berchi over top his stick. Patan down low. Nobles, hard pass. William Rand shoots wide. Boy, he really shot that one hard, and Pouliot hustles to keep it in. Pouliot to Nobles. Behind the net, Corbett protects the puck, and Patan goes in for a hit. St. Paul's got it now. Back to Corbett. 8 minutes into the third period. TJ Foster winding up in his own zone, and here he goes. Foster trying to go around Pouliot. Still Foster. Turns on his forehand, his head up. He almost lost possession. And Pouliot grabs it for the Winterhawks. Here's Brad Ross. Ross tries to roll it in. Saunders got it. And now Griffin Reinhardt. Up for Christian Pelch. Watherspoon, long pass, misses Ross. Icing called on Portland.
Yeah, you talked about the Winterhawks will respond every chance they get coming up the ice, and Nobles and Berchi do a pretty good job. Marcel Nobles was really good patience. Waits, he knows he's got that sliding defenseman. Gets that puck across to Berchi, can't convert. And as that play continued, then William Wren moved in pretty deep for a shot from the point. Surprised the Winterhawk defenseman moved that close. But you know, all attack is in their DNA, isn't it? I mean, they want it everywhere on the ice, and they want to go with it.
But unlike some of their games where they've outscored their problems, tonight they've got the goals, and now they want to basically avoid problems. Let's go down to Peter.
One thing that Derek Laxdal and the Oil Kings coaching staff has done, guys, is mix up all their lines, and we haven't seen a lot of that. But when you're trailing 4-0, you expect that kind of experimentation. It seems the different line combinations to have worked pretty well so far in the third period.
Oil Kings with a club record 107 points during the regular season, only 15 outright losses. For the Winterhawks at 102 points in the regular season, 19 outright losses. It's a great matchup in the championship series, and if this score will be going to Portland on Sunday, Bill, all tied at a game each.
Yeah, it'd be series and game on, wouldn't it? No question. The Portland Winterhawks, by the way, they did have 19 wins at home in a row at one point in the season. Now, if you include the playoffs, the Portland Winterhawks in their last 38 games at home are 35-3. So, you know, from the Edmonton Oil Kings standpoint, they're going into a tough building to win.
Gurnett in over the line and wanted shot, and it's turned aside by Carruth and angled out of play.
Peter, can you tell it all down there? Anybody getting double shifted? I mean, it's hard for us to always pick it up here, but is Laxell just kind of rolling guys with different combinations?
Yeah, there hasn't been a lot of double shifting so far to this point in time, and I think for good reason, because the basically three combinations he's going with are all attacking the net with some chances and authority.
Yeah, I agree. They are. They have some real strong attacks to the net.
Fairchief for Portland. Can't get it past Pesic, but now he gets it right back again. Behind the net, Nobles trying to knock it down. Does a good job, but then it's knocked off his stick by Keegan Lowe. Miraz hits Fairchief. Puck flips up high, and it's out of play with 10.5 to go in the third.
You know, when I look at Sven Baertschi, and you know, to me, he's a very much the type of player that Emerson Edom is. They're always poised to attack. In Edom's case, he's poised to attack to score. Baertschi, it always seems that he's ready to in the sprinters blocks to go, but he wants to be more creative. Baertschi goes up the ice with that speed to try to create. Now, obviously, he's missing his key partner, and Bill had made a guy that he's played all year with, Ty Ratty, tonight.
Bourgeois leaves it for Mark Pesic. Pesic gets it up for Wilson, and here's Jordan Peddle now. Peddle fights off one check. Here he comes in over the line, going all the way is Peddle until the very end, and Wren got his stick on it. Centering pass for Rashinsky, and that didn't quite materialize for the Oil Kings. Peddle in on a forecheck. Wren sweeps it around the boards. Patan waiting for it now. Nicholas Patan gets it up the center. Nobles in over the blue line with Baertschi. What a move! Baertschi's shot is stopped by Brossoit. It wasn't a hard shot. It was a great move by Baertschi, and then Brossoit makes the save. Under 10 now to go in the third. It's game 2 from Edmonton and the WHL final on Shaw.
You know, the one thing about Brendan Leipzig, no matter who you talk to, he is consistent. He gives you everything he's got, and he opened the scoring for this Portland Winterhawk team. 2:37 in a period number 1. Takes that Brad Ross feed. Important for the Winterhawks to score first. That was the only goal of the first period. Brendan Leipzig goes to work in period number 2. 9:20 in, a turnover. That made it 2-0. Sven Baertschi on a tremendously high-skilled play. Made it 3-0. And late in the period, a terrific Gabriel Lear-Peters combination ended the period at 4-0. And then in this period here, 4:44 in, Christian Pelch gets Edmonton on the board.
There's Sven Baertschi on your left, Christian Pelch on your right. Two of the great Euros in this league. Each team allowed to have 2. And these teams have really got some good ones. There's Pelch with the puck right now. And we said that, he almost gave it away, but it's followed up by Saunders. And shot into the Portland zone. Matt Carruth will handle it behind the net in the trapezoid. Switched around this side. Ross with one hand able to tap that puck out. Leipzig with 2 goals tonight to start Portland going. He got the first 2 goals, one in the first, one midway through the second. Winterhawks built up a 4-0 lead through 2. And now lead 4-1 with 9 minutes to go in the third period. Home teams have won 42 in the WHL playoffs. The road team has won 26 times. Lazar going in. Hit off the puck, and Portland comes up with it. Rutkowski towards Pouliot, but Gurnett has it now for Edmonton. Samuelson trying to dart his way over the line, got it to Foster. Save, big rebound, and Carruth came up with it. Samuelson going in, Pelch going in. That was a pretty healthy rebound, but Carruth keeps it out.
Yeah, 4-1 Oil Kings trailing. Now the key thing is to get chances, get pucks on the net, force Carruth to absolutely handle the puck. You got to make the goaltender handle it. That's key. And you know, the shot's going to come on the net. Play at the blue line. Foster buys himself some time. There's the shot. You know, again, Samuelson's going to be there. He's going to be driving for the net. Good position for the rebound.
Interesting so far, Bill. I look at the top 5 point getters for Edmonton in the playoffs. Lazar, Samuelson, Maxwell, St. Croix, and Legault. And only Lazar on the goal here tonight, a second assist. They're the only points that these guys have in the series so far. So I would say their big gunners are going to, even though they have depth, they're going to need some offense from those big guys.
Well, I said that last night. When you take a look at Pelch and you look at St. Croix and Maxwell, you total that up, boy, you got 200 points in the regular season. They just have to be a huge factor.
The Pelch goal and the Lazar assist, those 2 points, the only 2 for the top 5 on Edmonton as Legault puts that one wide of the net. Petan trying to catch up with it. He couldn't. And here's Foster being chased all the way back there by Petan. In fact, all the way behind his own net. Petan staying on him, and Foster finally gave up the puck. And Berchi gets it to Petan. Petan's having a nice game here for Portland. Back to Berchi, and off the skate, almost behind Brossois. He didn't know where it was, but he has it. And he holds on to it.
You know, Dan, I'm so impressed again. Every time the Winterhawks seem to get their 3-man triangles, their puck support on the forecheck, how often tonight they're coming up with pucks. They're so good. They're so much better than they were. You can see 3 guys in the picture. I just didn't see a lot of that last night. It started in period 1. There you are. That little triangle, they're so important. That allows you to support the puck and get it to that point. You talk about those slumps those guys are in. I mean, let's call it a slump, right? You know, they've got to get out of that. What do they say about slumps? Like a big bed, so easy to get in and so hard to get out of?
Leipzig going in on an outnumbered attack, and a nice save there off Ross by Brossois. And there's another play by Leipzig. Gets it down low to Ross. Spins off a check. Ross back to the blue line. Pouliot wanted it. He was set up for the one-timer. Couldn't get it. Morrow now to Reed. He's knocked off stride, and Corbett comes out for Edmonton. Hooked off his stick. Reed inside his own line now. Pouliot up for Ross. He chips it in. 7 minutes remaining in the 3rd period. Game number 2. And again, we'll be on the air from Portland on Shaw on Sunday night at 6 o'clock from the Rose Garden for game number 3. Last time our Shaw cameras were there, they were giving the Ed Chenoweth Cup to the Kootenay Ice. So we'll return to that scene for game 3 on Sunday.
Sometimes your stick just kind of shatters. And boy, you start going back. That's an ugly feeling if you're Gurnett and you're chasing a play with nothing but your hockey equipment that you're wearing, trying to block a pass or a shot.
And it was Brossois who made the save off of Ross. The shots in the game, the Oil Kings have 36 and the Winterhawks have 26. And it's a rare night. 4 goals on 26 shots on Brossois. It's a rare night where his save percentage isn't over 90. He came into this game, as you see Pelch spinning around there, with a .944 save percentage in the entire playoffs. Pelch shot up high, and Caruth didn't know where it was. Samuelson banging at it, hit Caruth, and on the doorstep, Pelch almost got it as well. Caruth has been good, and at times it looks like good positioning, allowing the puck just to hit him. Samuelson now. Lazar, sharp angle. Pelch banging at the puck. Samuelson banging at Caruth, and Caruth doesn't like it very much. Accidentally on purpose, Samuelson goes in on the goaltender, Caruth, and Caruth's having words with everybody involved and then skates away.
Yeah, you know, Matt Caruth is a 6'3" goaltender. He's a big guy. He's competitive. He wants pucks. Sometimes he's a little casual. Well, I thought he could have grabbed that. A little casual there. I mean, he's just hanging there, making sure that he's down low, that any puck that goes over top of him or goes in the net is going to go over top of him. I mean, he's cool. Everything's cool there.
Yeah, there until Samuelson
gives him a pretty good shot. And at that point, the coolness goes to uncool, and he's got to be restrained a bit.
And honestly, Bill, that's got to be a penalty. You can't body check the goalie like that.
Pretty good hip action, wasn't it?
Yes.
I know Samuelson's a tough cookie around the wall, and he's also pretty tough in the crease area.
I mean, that's like from his, I mean, Alt was mean and nasty as he won those 2 championships in the NHL.
Is that a chip?
That was a chip. And then some. Long shot goes wide of the net. And now Portland gets possession of the puck. Here's Peters. Peters shoots the puck in. Interesting 2 games here. 2 different games to be sure. There's another giveaway. And this time it's Lowe who tops up the puck. Hard pass in front for Lear. Puts it behind the net for Gabriel. Gabriel trying to chase it down here. Rutkowski puts it behind the net with 5 minutes to go in the 3rd period. Pesic's pass picked off. Now Foster starting back. In over the blue line. Makes 1 move. Pouliot trying to stay with him. Legault's hard pass picked off by Rutkowski, who read it beautifully. Rutkowski moves the puck in. Rutkowski, by the way, is from Edmonton, so he's playing in front of his hometown family and friends. And here's Morrow. He shoots it in. Also lots of family and friends here for Morrow from Sherwood Park. Trying to reach the puck there on the blue line. Nobles dumps it to the corner. Maxwell had it. He lost it. Berchi tries to throw it in front. Couldn't. Reinhardt's got it right now. 2 teams will both get on the same charter flight tomorrow morning and head down to Portland. I don't know who gets the front of the bus. I don't know who gets the back of the plane. But they'll be on the same charter, and then they'll play the next game in Portland on Sunday.
Yeah, you know, that was really an interesting situation for me. I don't know about you, a couple of years ago, Dan, when Kelowna and the Calgary Hitmen chartered out of Kelowna. I mean, for one thing, you enter the plane at that time on the tarmac, and it was kind of a rainy night. And here's this humongous aircraft that you're right up against. You don't see that all the flying you do, because you enter the planes through the, you know, through the gate area, and you see the Kelowna bus come up, and all the players get out of the bus, end up going up the back entrance of the plane. The Calgary Hitmen, the far right, the front entrance, they go up into the plane, the media in between that. I remember there was no way the players could interact if they wanted to.
Oh, that one ends up on top of the net. Let's see, they almost had one under the net, although that one may have gone in, and this one on top of the net. Only one officially in the net.
Yeah, the reason for this is as Samuelson goes to shoot the puck, he really has a player draped all over him, and he never gets good wood on it. And you watch Samuelson here, you see, there you go. Peters does a great job of checking him. That's the reason he doesn't get much on it. That's the reason it ends up on the net. You saw the way Caruth handed that puck to the referee. Just said, here, take it out of my glove. Pretty cool. It's kind of like a catcher and an umpire in baseball.
A late power play here for Edmonton as Patan got the offensive zone penalty before that Samuelson chance. So obviously huge right now for Edmonton. If they can still cash in, they'd have time here. Kelch over on the far side. A shot goes off the target. And then a turnover and a pass, and then a fanned-on shot by Gernat. Ooh, it looked like that was going to be the 4-2 goal. But Gernat, who's been so prolific around that net, fanned on that one. Oil Kings keeping the pressure on. Samuelson to Pelch. Off the stick and then out to the center ice area with exactly 3 minutes to go in the 3rd. 1 minute remaining in the power play. We could think about taking your goalie out, making it 6-on-4 for the last minute of this power play. Samuelson in over the line. St. Croix now handling it. Goalie still in the net. St. Croix, hard pass. Went off Rutkowski. Reinhardt's got it. Samuelson. Now the goalie goes to the bench. Just a few seconds after we thought they might do that. Half a minute to go in the power play. Not a bad idea, if I do say so myself.
You did. Good call.
6-on-4. But the Winterhawks keeping them behind the net and freezing the puck on the back of the net.
Like we've always said, you know, when you don't pull your goalie, you say, what are you protecting? A 4-1 deficit?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what's the point of it? You may as well go for it. 23 seconds left on that power play, and Dad, you're getting down to the really short strokes, and I'll make it very simple. If you win the face-off, if you're the Oil Kings now, with the extra 6-4 situation, you win the face-off, you get a good scoring chance. Maybe there's a breath of light. But if you don't win the, win the face-off like that, the Winterhawks really just going to stall time and kill the rest of this off.
And they shoot it to the line, but they don't get it out. Pesek, long shot, saved by Carew. Rebound put wide of the net. Miraz tries a wraparound. That doesn't materialize. Comes back out here to the blue line where Gurnett dumps it behind the net. Penalty almost over. Net remains empty. Maxwell's got the puck. Portland back at full strength, so to speak. Pesek's got it. His shot is tipped out of play, way up high behind the Portland goal.
Well, I thought they might get the chance off a face-off win. They didn't. They lost the face-off. The Winterhawks were unable to get it out, and still on a 6-on-4 situation. See way up the ice there? The net is empty, folks. 6-on-4. Best scoring chance of that sequence came by the shot from Pesek at the point, and really a tough job, I think, with Samuelson in front of the net, really trying to corral the rebound. Couldn't do so.
So with 1:50 to go, face-off one. You've seen both coaches at the bench. You'll see them after the game on the podium as we'll pick up their end-of-game conferences with the media. That'll be as part of our expanded post-game package. There's Mike Johnson. And some nice adjustments made by Mike Johnson and his coaching staff, which includes Travis Green and Kyle Gustafson.
Yeah, it'd be interesting for Coach Laxdell, Dan, in the Brandon series. He played in Brandon, had family there. The Moose Jaw series, he played with Mike Stuthers. Now going into Portland, that'll be fun for him too. A place that he played as a 16-year-old rookie back in 1983.
Now remember that trade you were telling me about, refreshing my memory yesterday about what was a Cody Eakin-like trade at the time.
Yeah, what was it? Laxdell to Brandon, Ferraro to Brandon.
So 5 of them. 5 for 1.
Yeah, you gotta get my head around that. Hordichuk to Brandon for 1 player, Blaine Crest. And you know who he was drafted by.
Oh, he shot it in his own net. Reinhardt, I think, shoveled it into his own goal. Berchi may have been last to touch the puck. And it's been that kind of night for Edmonton. Did Reinhardt score an own goal there? 5-1 now for the Winterhawks. Berchi says, I'll take that one.
Dan, I got to jog my memory before somebody jumps all over us here. It was Ray Ferraro, Derek Laxdell, Dave Tomlinson, Tony Horacek, Brad Dugan for Blaine Crest. 4 guys that played in the NHL. How many games did Blaine Crest play? 0. As you look at the score, or the goal rather, it's an own goal.
I'm not sure. I think the other angle, maybe Berchi did get a stick up. Looks like an own goal.
It'll go to Berchi. Well, let's confirm it. You get a good look here. Yeah, Berchi gets the poke at it.
So 2 goals for Berchi, 2 goals for Leipzig, and the first WHL playoff goal by Taylor Peters. 5 for Portland tonight. Just Pelch has scored for Edmonton, and this large crowd of almost 11,000 heading to the exits here in Edmonton. But they will know one thing. There will be another game in this building this year. Game 5 is now a guarantee. A Game 5 which will be played next Thursday. So we've got games Sunday and Tuesday in Portland. Then Thursday back here in Edmonton for game number 5. I'm sure they'll start selling tickets as early as tomorrow for that one. As Kettle goes in and his shot, as they've been selling tickets in the Rose Garden for the games there. And if it keeps going, it would be game 6 on the following Saturday and then game 7 on the Sunday. Back-to-back game 6s and 7s in Portland and in Edmonton with the charter travel in between.
I've said one of the criteria always to winning a championship is you got to be able to win on the road. There's only usually one team that gets home ice advantage through all the playoffs. You're going to have a battle on the road. The Winterhawks have done that tonight.
6-3 now on the road in these playoffs will be Portland, and this, of course, the first blemish for Edmonton on home ice. Their first loss in 13 on home ice. Their first loss since the middle of February on home ice, and they're going to end this game shorthanded as well.
Well, you know, Derek Laxdal, it wasn't a 5-1 score against Moose Jaw 2 that they got beat. You see a penalty called on this last play, but Laxdal's team, sometimes you got to go through a little bit of this to become ultimately a stronger team in the long run. And obviously, I don't think anybody expected this series to be any kind of a sweep. Coach Laxdal knew it was going to be tough. Got his team off to a great start last night, but he's run into a typical Portland Winterhawk team that we've seen pretty well all year. And that's without Ty Ratty now.
8 seconds to go, a late power play for Portland. And the horn is going to sound, and the series is going to be tied a game each. 1 year ago, Portland had home ice in the final. 1 year ago, Portland lost game 1 of the final, and then saw Portland won game 1 of the final, and then saw Kootenay win 4 in a row, and they're hoping history repeats itself that way, as they are out to Mob Carew, who ended up stopping 38 out of 39 shots that Edmonton threw his way.
Well, if you would have asked Coach Johnson and that team in red, the Portland Winterhawks, would you be happy with a split in Edmonton? 99.99% of everybody, including the fans in Portland, would say, give it to me. Give us a split in this building, which is a tough place to play. We talked about it already, how tough the Oil Kings are here. It doesn't matter whether they win last night or tonight. We're set for a heck of a game in Portland come Sunday night in the Oregon City. Great effort here by the Winterhawks.
And if you ask Derek Laxdal right now, will he take a split in Portland? I'm going to say he'd do the same. The Winterhawks going to their dressing room. And as we recap this game, we'll have a lot of post-game activity. Leipzig with the first 2 goals. Berchi with a pair of goals. Peters the other. 3 in the second for Portland, as they took full command of this game, and they win 5-1. Stay with us. Lots of post-game activity coming your way from Edmonton on Shaw.